Hey everyone, my name is Reggie and welcome to my channel. Today I'm super excited to be sharing with you my TBR for the seasonal series Read-A-Thon. If you do not know, the seasonal series Read-A-Thon is a readathon that I am a co-host for, and it revolves around reading series, so either starting, catching up on, or completing series that you've been wanting to for a long time, and it is themed around the seasons of the year. If you want more information about this readathon, go ahead and check my video in the eye. I'll also be linked down below. This readathon starts today, but there will also be a week, and I'll put that date on the screen. I believe it's June 11th through June 17th. Will be the intense traditional style readathon. Throughout the 3 months, we're going to have reading sprints. There's different ways to accumulate points that will enter you into a giveaway at the end, but like I said, all of those details will be in that previous video, so make sure you check that out for all of the details about this really fun readathon. So the readathon is based on series like I mentioned, so I'm going to be participating in this readathon following the spring bingo board. If you want to follow your own bingo board, we also have a summer, autumn, and winter bingo board, so you can pick the season that you're at or your favorite season or whichever season just works in terms of challenges with what you want to read. As of today, it's spring here. You wouldn't guess that because it's due to snow, but as of today, it is spring here, so I will be doing the spring challenge because I think that's fun. And while I hope to read more than this, I've blocked off 10 challenges that I want to complete in those 3 months, and these, if I complete all of the challenges, will complete 2 bingos. So the first row we're looking at is that top row on the spring bingo board. The first challenge I'm doing is to read a book while you're taking a spring walk. So I'm going to be reading Children of Blood and Bone. This is by Tomi Adeyemi, and I'm so pumped to read this book. This is a diverse high fantasy that's set in West Africa, and I'm just so here for everything that this book is. And I do have a copy of this book as an audiobook, so I will be listening to this while I'm taking some walks. I do a lot of my audiobooking while I'm walking my dog, so that'll be a perfect challenge for me. The next challenge I will be reading is number 6, April Showers. The idea behind this one is to read your book while there's rain going on in the background, whether that's natural rain in the background or artificial rain reproduced like on your computer with audio files or whatever. There's a lot of websites for things like that. For this one, I'm going to be reading Persepolis. This is by Margie Strappi. This is a graphic memoir that details our author's life as she was growing up in Iran during the Islamic Revolution. I've been wanting to read this for ages, and I hope now is the time. Technically, this could be considered a standalone because this is like 2 volumes, but in recent printings, they've combined it into 1. I have the 2 separate volumes. Also, technically, since this is a spring-inspired challenge and not a series-inspired challenge, I don't have to read a series for this. So either way it works, whether you want to count it for a series or not, it's going to count for this challenge. Next up, I have number 11, which is character growth. So this is supposed to be a book in which character growth happens within the book. So I will be reading The Knife of Never Letting Go, which is the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. This is by Patrick Ness, and I will be reading this alongside my good friend Lily from Sweet Love Books. She's hosting a read-along during April, May, and June, I believe. I did reach out to Lily to ask, but there is character development within the entire series. We're not entirely sure about necessarily in the first book, but I'm going to count it because there's character development within the series. Challenge the number 16 is to read a book with spring colors on the cover. For this one, I've decided to go with Ends of the World. This is the 3rd book in the Conspiracy of Us trilogy. This book mainly has purple and pinks on the cover. I think that is a very like bright, exciting spring color, so I'm going with it, and I'm just so excited to finally finish the series because when I read the first 2 books, I loved them, and I've been sitting on this last book in the series for a while. The next challenge I'll be reading for is Sunny Days, and the challenge idea behind this one is to read a book out in the sun. So I'm super excited for this challenge because reading in the sun, reading outside is one of my favorite things. It's the thing I look most forward to in spring and summer. It's my favorite, and the times I can't do that make me so sad. So for this, I will be reading Wires and Nerves. This is the 2nd graphic novel that is a spin-off / sequel to the Kane Chronicles series. I need to finish the first one of this, but I wanted to read something that would be relatively short that I could read in like 1 or 2 sittings outside, but would still like give me some good reading time outside, so I decided to go with like a graphic novel. I thought that was a good choice for this. This is another challenge where I didn't necessarily have to pick a book that's in a series, but I decided this was one I wanted to read anyway, so why not? So next up, I'm going to try to be completing the challenge of Cross, the third one down for the springboard. First challenge on this one is to read the first book in a series. And so for this one, I will be reading one of the books that I'm most excited to be reading, and one of the first series that came to mind when we first started discussing this readathon. I was like, oh, that's one that's going to have to be on my TBR. And that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is a fantasy, urban fantasy, I believe, story about angels, and it's set in Prague, and that's really all I know. There'll be a star, Yogi. And you can't see his cuteness. Hi. Can you give him to me? You not like camera? You camera shy? Okay. The next challenge on this board is a middle grade series, so I will be starting with the Kane Chronicles. The Kane Chronicles is Rick Riordan's series that follows Egyptian mythology. Number 13 is a free space. I will be reading Gemina, which is from the Illuminae Files trilogy. This is the second book. I wasn't sure if I was going to read it. A lot of you guys suggested I continue on with the series, so I'm going to be doing it, and I'm going to be using it for that free space. Next up, we have Spring Flowers, and for this one, you're supposed to use a flower as a bookmark. Since I didn't want to use like a real flower for a bookmark, like for a long period of time, I decided to use Giant Days. That way I can read it in like 1 or 2 sittings, and just whenever I get distracted or turn away, use a flower as a bookmark. And the last one, which will give me my second bingo, is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is the sequel to Scythe by Neil Shusterman, which I'm reading right now. It's a dystopian, it's all the rage, it's pretty hyped up, so I don't think I needed to explain it to you guys because it's really all over BookTube, but this definitely has Grain on the cover, so I'm going to be using this to complete my second bingo. While I do plan to read more books during the 3 months, these are the staples that I want to read and the 2 bingos I want to focus on first. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll be joining us for the readathon. If you have any questions about the readathon, go ahead and ask them down in the comments section below. And that is all for today's video, so if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!